Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. I had a bit of an issue. Martina, just a second. I will bring you up. Excellent. Hi. To make sure I am muted, or I can't hear you, Martina. I will unmute you. I have.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I'm getting the top of my head is getting cut off. Let me just change that a bit. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. We are a little bit early, just by a minute. Actually, no, it just turned 8 o'clock. So we see people are starting to chime in and starting to join. Please do let us know who you are, where you're from.
It'd be interesting to see from where everybody's joining tonight as well.
Yes. I'm trying to just pull up my chat section. Excellent. All right. Now, before I get started, I do have some little technical things. I have to try to share this on our Facebook page, and then I will formally introduce myself and introduce Martina. So, Martina, if you'd like to engage with people, this would be the time, and I'm going to try to share.
Okay, let me have a look if I can see who the participants are here. Just going to see here if I can get a list of who's here. I can see that there's around 10 participants online already, but I can't tell where you're all from. Here we go. Just got something here. Hi, Dayani from Ottawa. Hello. So I can see we're getting people from across Ontario. Jane from Toronto. Hi there. Be interesting to see if we can get some people from out of province and out of country, perhaps even.
Oh, that would be good.
I know that my sister in the UK, who lives in Northern Ireland at the moment, she won't be joining us because it's early morning hours for her. But she's looking forward to seeing the YouTube video and the replay later.
Perfect.
So
Hi,
Diana and Faith from Toronto, hello, and Helen from Vineland, Ontario, hi there.
That's a good place to be from.
Yes, if you're anywhere in Ontario, then you will have had wonderful spring weather today, as we've had up here too. Here's also Kim from Toronto. Hi, Kim. Yes, we're in Ontario. We've had luck with the weather today in the next few days, unlike the forecast for, I think it was either Newfoundland or New Brunswick. Apparently, they're getting 30 centimeters of snow.
That is wrong.
In the next few days. That's crazy. Colette from London, hi. Someone from a little west of the province as well.
Wow. I can't even imagine snow. It's May.
Yes, that is really crazy weather for them for sure.
It is May. I'm almost there for streaming.
All right, thank you. Mumtaz from Toronto, hello to you as well. I know I have a few of my friends and business acquaintances who are going to sign on as well. So hopefully they're coming online. I saw that Jane is there. I think that's the Jane that I know. And otherwise, it will be nice. And hopefully we'll see them joining us later on as well as we get started.
Okay, so we are almost there.
For those of you who are already online, are all of you small business owners? Perhaps you can just type a quick response. Are you existing business owners or looking at starting a business? Is that why you're here? Helen says yes, small business owner. Jane, yes, also existing business owner. Yep. Dayani, also already in business. Mumtaz as well. Sarah Bibb also joined us, also an existing business owner. We have Paulette is an author, excellent. Diana, also already an existing business owner. So you will all know that we always have to juggle many things, many tasks, wear many hats, and there never seem to be enough hours in the day and days in the week to get everything done and to get it done smoothly, efficiently. Jemmy joined us as well, also another business owner. So it looks like we have existing business owners online tonight who are looking to find out how they can improve their day-to-day operations and use some more tools to make things run a little bit more smoothly.
Yes, because we can all use that extra time to do other things. And we would like to think we'll use it to do things for ourselves, but we'll probably end up using it to do things for our business because that's what we do as entrepreneurs. So now that everything is all set up and we've gotten to know a little bit about our attendees, I'll tell you a little bit about us, and then I'll, push it on over to Martina, and she will wow you with all the information. So I hope you have pen and paper ready. I know I do. So welcome. It is Wednesday at about 8:05, which means it is time for our webinar series. We try to do these twice a month. If you have missed any, you can always go to our Canadian Small Business Woman YouTube channel and check out the previous ones. They are excellent. And I should probably introduce myself. I'm Dwania. I am the founder and executive director of Canadian Small Business Woman, and we do a myriad of things: host webinars like these, host seminars across Ontario, and also host 2 Immigrant Women Small Business Expos, one in Ottawa and one in Toronto. Now, the goal of these webinar series, it's really to try to find a way to give you a lot of information in a small amount of time that can be manageable for you so you can help to build your business or to improve your life. There's a little bit of balance and, trying to make sure that your business runs well so that you can have that work or business life balance that we all try to achieve. It's difficult. I know it. I can tell you, I worked all day today. I cooked dinner, haven't eaten dinner yet, just in time to, join you all on this webinar. So it's a fun time. And I will have some giveaways at the end, and I'm sure Martina will have some surprises as well as we go through her presentation. But what I will do, I will keep an eye on the chat. If you have questions, please do feel free to type them either in the chat box or in the Q&A box, because the Q&A box is enabled. And I will also be checking our live feed online for anyone who might have questions. So what I will do now is hand it over to our guest, Martina. And Martina, I will pull up your presentation and you can tell the lovely folks about you. I can tell you that she's amazing. I've known her for probably about 5 years now. Yeah. And you can read a lot of Martina's blog on our blog site as well. So Martina, it's all you. I'm going to share my screen.
All right, thank you. Well, hello everybody, and thanks for coming in this evening. Hopefully this will provide you with some good tips on how to get yourself even more organized than you already are. Assuming that you are already organized because you are business owners, you are already in the thick of things and running your day-to-day businesses. I won't get into my biography. It was posted on the registration page, so I don't want to use up any of our time here. Just suffice it to say that I own my own business. I'm a virtual business manager, so I work for small business owners like yourselves to keep them organized and take care of their administrative as well as project management and some professional and business development support, and keeping them accountable and on track. Many of the tools I'll be introducing here are programs that I use for my own business and that I recommend and also set up for my clients, or that my clients already have, and I'm using them as part of my support work for them. So tonight is for small business owners, especially those on a shoestring budget, which most of us are, to get an overview of some online tools and programs that are available either for no cost or low cost in order to automate and track your main business activities. The benefits of automating really are to automate recurring processes that will increase your efficiency. They'll provide more reliable, searchable, and also shareable documentation and save you a lot of time. Next slide, please. So these are the 7 categories that I'll introduce to you tonight. So we have the CRM, the client or customer relationship management, email marketing, time tracking, invoicing and bookkeeping, project and team management, file storage and file sharing, and online calendar bookings. So before we launch into these categories, I just wanted to point out a couple of things. The programs I'm going to show you for each category will often include more than one tool within the actual category. So for example, many CRMs will also include email marketing, or many project and team management programs will also include a time tracking component. If you find one that has more than 2 offerings, that's of course very useful. You don't have to then create accounts for more than one system to do multiple tasks for you. Other times you might find that a certain system from a different program, a different provider actually suits you better. So whichever you choose, find something that works well with you, that you like the usability of it, you like the look and feel, and of course the pricing as well. And secondly, just to point out that what I'm mentioning, the tools I'm mentioning are those that I use for my business, that I use for my clients, or that the clients have and I use with them and for them in my work for them. A lot of them I also research online just to look through the list of the best of CRMs or the top 10 time tracking software. You will always find additional ones that I'm not mentioning tonight. I'll give a list of around typically 3 to 5 examples of the most mentioned that I hear and use the most, or that I hear others, especially fellow virtual assistants using in our industry, and the ones that are most commonly used for these programs. So let's have the first one, please, right now. So the first one is the CRM. So AKA your client database. The manual version, many of us start that way, or you might still have it on an Excel spreadsheet with many columns with contact information on there. The automated version is a CRM, which helps you track much more than just the contact information. You can essentially track the sales process from start to finish. So this is when you meet someone for the first time, you're talking to them, finding out their needs. They might become a prospect. You have several conversations. They may become an almost client, or eventually a client. And you can track all of those processes and how often you've communicated with them. It helps you capture those leads, set assignment rules. You can set up your own email templates. You can track, again, qualified leads as well as your sales pipeline and your sales funnel. You can track which sales have completed and what the dollar amount of the sale was. And typically, it's very easy to upload your existing Excel database, so all of those columns you have, and just upload them into the system, and it will order them pretty nicely there. Next slide, please. This one is an example of Insightly, which I use. Fairly basic. I just want to show here on the left-hand side, you see the dashboard, so you can create tasks. You have the contacts and organizations list. You can create the opportunities, which I just mentioned, which is your sales pipeline, the touch points that you have with the client. You'll see over here in the middle, the 3rd and 4th line down shows the dollar value of the client, the percentage amount of the probability of you winning that sale. So you can track all that, which helps you down the road to see how many of your sales conversations and how many of your prospects whom you approach, you're actually converting into sales. So that will show you your ratio of how many people do you have to talk to in order to convert them into a client. It has dates associated, and you can set up email reminders and have a bit of a description as well. Across the top, you can see you can have a history of all the different touch points and set up tasks, and you can set yourself email reminders. So if you know you need to follow up with someone after a networking event and you want to contact them within the first 24 hours after the event first, and then after that, let's say 3 days after, 7 days after, and another week after that, until you've got your yes, or until you have a very conclusive answer anyway. Next slide. Here's some of the examples. So we have Insightly, then there is HubSpot, Zoho, Salesforce, and Infusionsoft. So for most programs that I'm showing you, there are free versions available. If they're not free, then they sometimes will have a 30 or 60-day trial, so you can try out and see if that is the right platform for you, if the look and feel of it and the ease of learning how it works, if that works for you. Otherwise, plans are affordable. They vary depending on the provider and on your needs, meaning how many users are going to use it, how many clients you need to be contacting through the system. You'll notice throughout the presentation that sometimes I'm listing US dollars and sometimes Canadian dollars, and sometimes I don't specify. When I don't specify, it's because I couldn't really find out on the website which it is. So pardon me for anyone who's not a North America user, you'll have to convert your pound sterling or whatever it is into US dollars. So Insightly, HubSpot, Zoho, they all have a free version and affordable plans. Salesforce doesn't have a free version that I could see. They start at $25 per user per month. Salesforce is more for better suited for a larger company and a larger team with a larger number of clients. I have used it. It is more complex and possibly more than most of us would need for a small business or a solopreneur business with a smaller number of clients. I'm not going to mention too much about Infusionsoft. It is referred to in our industry sometimes as Confusionsoft. It's very complex to learn. You can see from the pricing as well, it starts at $80 a month for one user with fewer than 500 contacts. Infusionsoft actually offers training courses and certificates to learn how to set it up. It's that complex. So business coaches use it a lot because they do send out a lot of email marketing and have many touch points and many prospects. So it seems to work well for that kind of business. Other than that, I would say start with something a bit easier to learn. Next slide, please. Email marketing. Email marketing is what keeps you connected to your prospects as well as your contacts and keeps you front of mind with your audience. The manual version is essentially you creating an email directly from your email account, putting everyone's address into the blind copy, the BCC, and sending it off and hoping that it doesn't get blocked by people's spam filters. The problem with this is that you have no way of tracking who opened the email, who read it, what time of day did they read it, did someone want to unsubscribe or not? In an automated email marketing software, you can create your e-newsletters or simple email blasts with their saved or customized templates. You can schedule emails days or hours ahead. You can track who was subscribed and unsubscribed. The wonderful thing is the statistics. You can see how many people have actually opened your newsletter. And you can see what time of day people typically read your newsletter. So you can then send it at a time that makes more sense, where it's top of the inbox for people to read it. And you can also automate email sequences. That means, for example, if someone signs on for your newsletter through your website, you can then automate a sequence of emails they will automatically receive from your email marketing. So the first one will be a thank you for joining my newsletter. And then you can send something 3 days later saying, hey, I just wanted to let you know about the so-and-so program. And then you can schedule the next email sequence 7 days after they signed up and then another 7 days after that. That is an email sequence. Next slide, please. This is an example of MailChimp. Again, they have a free version, which is what I have. Very simple layout. You can see across the top, you have just 4 different categories for your campaigns. A campaign is essentially the email newsletter or the email blast that you send out. Then you have templates where you can do very quick drag and drop design to get a very nice layout. Then you have lists and you can do your reports. And we are here on the campaigns page, which in the center, highlighted in yellow, you can see it shows you the title of the newsletter, how many of your subscribers it went to and what date. And then very useful here on the right-hand side, this shows you the percentage of people who opened it. So this is the open rate. I just want to point out, please don't ever be sad or dissuaded if the percentage rate is below 40% or below 30%. The industry standard for most small businesses is between 12 and 20%. So if you're over 20% or over 30%, you're already over the industry average. It is just a thing. We all get inundated a little bit with newsletters. Next slide, please.
I do have a question about
yes.
MailChimp. Are you able to do those email sequences in MailChimp?
To be honest, I haven't tried that in MailChimp. That's a good question. I haven't done that in MailChimp. I know you can do it in some paid programs, and it might be something that you have to pay for. So it might be in a paid plan only. I know that in Aweber, you can schedule the email sequences. The program that I have used, though, for Aweber was a paid plan for a client where you could send up these automated email sequences. So it may have to do, you'll have to look a little bit when you're signing up for an email program to see what it allows you to do on the free version and what you would have to pay for. They're typically, most of them are quite good at showing you the comparison of the different plans. Usually they offer 3 or 4 paid plans and show you what the free version allows you, and you can see where there might be some functionality that you really want to have, where it might be worthwhile actually getting the lowest paid plan. Now for the next slide, please. Just very briefly here, this is the drag and drop design of the templates. So on the right hand side, you see all these boxes. You literally just grab them with your mouse and drag them to the left hand side where you're creating your template. You can do the headers, logo, change the colors, change the fonts, insert pictures. It's very easy to set up. And then you have your automated footer and your social media icons there as well. It's pretty straightforward, very easy to just go back in and make more and more edits. There's an opportunity for you to preview what it will look like when it's finished. And you can even email it to yourself so that you can see if it works all right once it actually shows up in someone's inbox. Can I just have the next slide, please, Rania? Thank you. So here's, as I mentioned, MailChimp. A couple of the other really useful ones are Aweber and Constant Contact. Someone just answered, you can use email sequences in MailChimp. Thank you, Mariam. That's very good to know. So MailChimp, as I said, they have a free version that allows you up to 2,000 subscribers and 12,000 emails a month. I haven't even got close to that limit. Aweber has a 30-day free trial. After that, it is a paid plan. Constant Contact also has a free trial, and then the plans are from around $19 or $20 for most of these plans per month, depending again on how many subscribers you want and how much functionality. Aweber has a fantastic telephone support system as well, customer support. If you need to figure out anything, some things you can't actually do online. You have to phone them and they have to set things up. Sometimes if you're changing a template or so, but they're super helpful, really good to use. Salesforce and Infusionsoft, again, these were mentioned in the CRM part, so I'm not going to go into details here, but they do email marketing as well. Next slide, please. Time tracking. This is where we get caught out, is the days running away and we're not quite sure what we've done at the end of the day and what exactly did we work on today. So tracking your time helps you identify how much time you've spent on various tasks, regardless of whether you need to track it for your client billing or not. It's useful for you to know as a business owner. So instead of using just a clock or a timer on your phone or computer and pen and pencil or Word document to track it, an automated time tracking software allows you to see exactly where you're spending most of your time and also where you're not spending enough time. For example, are you spending enough time doing your sales and marketing, going to networking events, planning your business and planning ahead, business development? So knowing the length of time it takes you for specific tasks, it can be very, very eye-opening to see what you really spend your time on. Next slide. I use Toggle. This is toggle.com. Very easy to use. I like the dashboard and the layout. Essentially, you have a little timer in the top right corner. You can set up numerous projects and clients. You can also invite a team member to join you. I have a VA subcontractor on my team, so I've invited her to be able to access certain client files. You can restrict which ones they have access to. And then your teammate or your subcontractor or employee can track their time on specific projects, and you can also see how much time they've spent. The other useful thing here is, Sarah is agreeing that Toggle is a great timer. Thank you. It was also recommended to me by a colleague. The nice thing is also you can run reports, so you can see exactly per week, per month, per quarter, how much time you've spent on a client or a project. So that's useful to know, oops, I'm going a little bit higher on the number of hours I'm spending on this. I better, get this finished first, or have a word with the client and make sure that you're still getting paid for all the work you're putting in. Next slide. Just briefly, this is how a report can look. It gives you a bar graph, a bar chart with the dates and how much time you've spent. And then when you scroll further down, you also get a pie chart if those work better for you visually. Next slide. Just going to have a sip here. So again, there are many time tracking programs. Toggle, there's Time Camp, Hub Staff. Rescue Time is slightly different. I'll explain what that is in a minute. Again, the first three here all have free versions, and even the paid plans are very affordable, $5 a month typically per user. For the Toggle that I have the free program and can have a number of team members whom I invite to work on certain projects. So it doesn't count as a user if I'm inviting them into certain projects or certain pieces of work. So that has worked well. Rescue Time is actually a slightly different type of time tracking. It helps you track which websites and which apps you're spending time on. So if you're spending too much time on Facebook, you can actually track it through Rescue Time, see how much time you are spending on there, and then hopefully you will work on reducing the amount of time you're spending on social media sites, unless it is for your business. But you can track where you're going and which websites you're using a lot. And you can also set up blocks to block distracting websites so they don't eat away your time. Next slide, please.
Oh, I think I went 1, 2.
Jumped a bit fast here, yes.
Oh, wait.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yes, no problem. So the next category, invoicing and bookkeeping. I'm not going to go too much into bookkeeping. Basically, what I mean is tracking your expenses and also tracking your sales and your income, which we all need to do. It's also for invoicing your clients and tracking what you've sent out and when, and who has paid you or who needs a reminder. So this beats running an Excel spreadsheet or having a Microsoft Word invoice template where you have to manually change the invoice number, the date, the projects, and so on. So with an automated invoicing software, you can use preset invoices, customize it with your logo. You can schedule payment reminders. You can receive credit card payment online. Often there is an additional processing fee for that if your plan is actually a free site. You can mark bills as paid, send the client receipts. You can scan with your mobile phone. You can scan your expense receipts, email them to a specific email in your invoicing account, and it will automatically upload it as one of your expenses. And then it's much easier for you to categorize. You don't have to manually enter everything. Again, you can run accounting reports, and then you can also do payroll if you have staff on your team. Next slide, please. This is an example of Wave accounting. I use Wave, and several of my clients use it as well. This is a Toronto-based company, which I really like about it. This is a free version, and it has all the functionality that I need. So I have no problem at all. I have all my clients on here. I can do nice invoicing. I can track who is paid. You can see on the left-hand side here, the marked red overdue means that the client hasn't paid you at the date that you said they should. So on the right-hand side, you then have a drop-down menu. You can send them a reminder, or once they've paid, you can mark them as paid and send them a receipt. On the left-hand side in the dashboard, you'll just see sort of some of the options that are available. You don't get all of them if you have the free version necessarily. The nice thing again is that in the accounting section, you can run reports. So at the end of a quarter or the end of the year, you can run your financial reports. You can see your sales and your expenses. You can see how much HST, how much sales tax you've collected and need to pay back to the CRA. Very useful to have all the dollar amounts that you will need for your annual income tax and business and HST tax returns. Your accountant will thank you if you have that. So again, here is Wave. Other popular ones are FreshBooks, and then there's QuickBooks Online. So for Wave, they pride themselves on having a free program where you use only what you need when you need it and only pay for what you use. So if you want payroll, you just pay for that portion, but you don't have to pay for everything else. FreshBooks has a free trial, but they are paid plans. Other than that, I think the functionality is the same. I haven't used FreshBooks myself. It does allow you automated reminders, but only on the mid or higher paid plans. That's what I was able to find out. QuickBooks is available just for a paid plan after a 30-day free trial. You can get different programs for QuickBooks. So you can have QuickBooks Online, and then there's also a more extensive QuickBooks version that accountants typically use. So that is far more complex, and that is then a local copy that they would use. So if you have a lot of clients, a lot of invoicing, and you have an accountant doing the external billing and accounting and returns to kind of the revenue agency, then QuickBooks may be what your accountant will actually suggest to you. I've seen a number of comments come in here. We will address those a little later. I'm leaving that to Dwayne actually to field what kind of questions we want to take in between. But if you can go to the next slide, please. The next category is file storage and file sharing. The useful thing about online file storage, or as we've now all learned the term cloud storage, is that it allows you to store larger file sizes, videos which eat up a lot of your memory, and very usefully, it also allows you to share documents very easily online without having to email them as an attachment, and then the attachment is too big and it doesn't go through, and you don't have to mail each other USB sticks with the documents on it. You can do all this online. The real benefits are then that you can also access your files from anywhere. So if your computer ever just goes up in smoke and dies, you don't lose all your files. You can still access them on your online file storage. You can share the access to files or folders, as I just mentioned, and you can also limit, in terms of privacy, who's allowed to see what. You can share an entire folder, or you can share just very specific documents within there, and who gets to see those. And it gives you more storage space. So you just don't have to store everything on your computer and potentially slowing down how fast your computer runs because there's just so much on it. Next slide, please. This is an example of Dropbox. Now, I'm going to throw this out here because we have a very smart crowd listening. I was unable to find how you can, or if you still can, get a free Dropbox account and how. The thing with Dropbox was that when I signed up, someone who already had a program invited me, then they got extra storage, and I got a free Dropbox account. I wasn't able to find out if they still do that or if you just can get paid plans.
Yeah, you can still get a free one, but the storage space is limited.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and every time you invite somebody else to join Dropbox, you then get more storage.
Oh, wow.
The layout, again, is very simple. It's just the same way as it is on your computer. You have folders, you can have subfolders. You can, for file sharing on the left-hand side, you can invite people to see either the entire folder or just individual files. Very easy to upload and download files through Dropbox. Next slide. Very common now as well is Google Drive. File storage, I suppose in the last year or two, become more familiar with Google Drive and more clients using it for their file storage. Also because if you have other team members, you have other collaborators working with you, it's very easy, again, to share specific files or folders for your team to access. The layout, again, is very straightforward. And the next slide, please. So we have Dropbox, which we just mentioned here. You have paid plans start at $10.75 a month for one user. And then again, if you need more file storage, you can upgrade to bigger plans. The Google Drive as free account, you can sign. Okay, so here someone is saying Dropbox does still offer the free account. You can sign up for, and it has a file storage limit of 2 GB. Thank you for that comment. So it depends on how much you need to store on there. If you need more storage, you will have to pay, get a paid plan. Unless you use Google Drive. My understanding of getting a Google Drive is if you create a free Gmail email address, then you also get access to the Google Drive. The free account comes with 15 GB of storage, which is pretty large, and contains also a free email. Now, if you want to have a business email address, so instead of having your name at gmail.com, if you want to have your name at yourbusinessname.com, then that is a paid Gmail account. With that, I assume you also get more storage, as I listed here. For the G Suite, you get $5 per user per month. And for the professional Office Suite, you get double the storage than you get with the free account. And that allows you that business email setup as well. The other option is Office 365. It's a little bit more costly. Through the personal plan, you actually get, for $79 a year, you get the full Microsoft Office Suite. So you've got the Word, Excel, PowerPoint. You also get the online cloud storage in OneDrive. Through that, you can also share access to different files. You get the Outlook email address with that as well. It's a little bit, it's more the professional and has more of a corporate feel around it, the whole layout and the whole way it looks and feels. So it depends on what you prefer. I have both. I have a Gmail account and I do use Office 365. Next slide, please. Here is category 6 is the project and team management. So if you want to track and schedule the tasks and the projects and see how much time you and your team members are spending on projects or how far you are with your projects, then this is a good tool to use. You can track everyone's tasks, you can track the due dates and set yourself reminders, and you can also allow your client to see how far you are along with their specific projects. It allows you to have team communication within the program instead of endless emailing back and forth and filling up your inbox with that. You can set milestones, projects, and tasks. You set the due dates and have the program send you an email reminder that says, this task is due today. You need to work on this. And then you can check it off as completed or partly completed, and you can add a percentage tracker on how far along you are in this task. That's what I mentioned here. You can mark the percentage of progress. You can add additional notes and upload documents as well pertaining to particular projects. And you can also create recurring tasks. Some of the programs also include time tracking, which we mentioned earlier. As I said, often there is an overlap within a program that it offers other functionality as well. Next slide, please. When I looked up the top 10 or top 5 team management and project management slides, there are very many that come up. The ones that seem to be most mentioned and most used are Trello, Slack, Asana, Teamwork, and Basecamp. Trello, I have found, is very simple and simplistic. It's not everybody's thing. Particularly, wasn't really my thing, but if you like husky icons, the way you set up your project cards, they have little husky faces on them. Some people like that. Slack also has a free version. They do have a 10K message storage limit on the free plan, so you may want to upgrade to a paid version. I know that Asana, Teamwork, and Basecamp are used very widely in the virtual assistant industry. Those seem to be the programs of choice when you have a number of clients or a number of team members working with you, subcontractors working with you on various files. So Asana and Teamwork also have free versions, as you can see here. It varies in terms of how many team members or users you're allowed to have. So there is a bit of a difference. There are also some limitations I've noticed, specifically with Teamwork. The free version allows you 5 users, which is great, but it only allows you 2 projects. And basically a project is a client or client file. So if you can only have 2 clients in the program, that really doesn't give you much flexibility. So then you would have to upgrade to the paid plan, but for that you have to have a minimum of 5 users. I don't have 5 users, I have 2, maybe 3, so that can be a bit of a challenge. I would recommend, don't be afraid to sometimes ask the provider if they can help you figure out which plan would be the best, or if you fall in between 2 of the plans they offer and you have some limitations on one side of their requirements, see what they can do for you. They might offer something that they don't advertise online. I've found that with Teamwork, so go ahead and ask. Basecamp, again, pretty user-friendly, is quite quirky and sort of quite casual to use. Next slide, please. I'm keeping an eye on the time here. There we go. We're on our last category, the last official category. I have one extra for you after. Online calendar booking. I think we all know how tedious it can be to send endless emails back and forth trying to find a date and a time when 2 people are available. So the online calendar booking programs allow you to set up the times and dates that you are available for meetings, and then you can send someone the booking link to them, and then they can choose how their availability matches yours. It saves a lot of this endless emailing back and forth. It helps limit errors in, oh, what was that last email? Did she say she was available Tuesday afternoon or was it Wednesday morning? And it also looks more professional. Business coaches use online calendar bookings a lot because they make a lot of phone calls, a lot of coaching calls with their clients. So this is a much easier way to figure out when you're all available. Next slide, please. Again, for this category, there are a ton of programs available. I've just mentioned a few here: Calendly, Acuity, Simply Book, and Time Trade. There are so many more. And again, look at which plan works for you, how much creativity and ease of use you want from your program. Calendly, Acuity, and Simply Book Me, as well as Time Trade, all have free versions. They have some limitations sometimes within how many types of meetings you can set up. For example, in Calendly, it allows you only 1 meeting type. That means that you can only schedule meetings that are 30 minutes long. And then every meeting you set up is sort of 30 minutes long. And if you want to set something that's an hour long or different topic, or it's a personal meeting versus a phone call, it doesn't allow you to customize it that much. So for that, you would need a paid plan. The only other one out of these I have used is Time Trade. It's okay, but I have found it a little bit clunky at times to set up all these different meeting types and creating your individualized messages that people will see when they're signing up on your calendar. But it works well for some purposes. And if you want something simple, then it's not it's not too fanciful for you to learn and to apply. The next slide, please. I think we are. Here we go. So we finished the 7 official categories. There's a quick bonus category for you is social media scheduling. Most of us advertise or talk about our businesses on social media as well in multiple accounts. So you've got your Facebook, you've got Twitter, you've got LinkedIn, probably some people are on Instagram. I'm not on there yet. And instead of logging in and out of multiple social media accounts one at a time to post your stuff, you can use the social media management platforms. A couple of them that I know are Buffer and Hootsuite. They have free versions as well. You can schedule from 3 or 4 of your social media accounts. You log in once, then you just connect to your various social media accounts within there, and then you can go in, set them all up, and you can either send them immediately or schedule them for a different time and date. And then you don't have to think of it. You do it at the beginning of the week. You can get it all done for every day of the week. You do it once and then it's done for the rest of the week. TweetDeck, if Twitter is your main social media platform, you can also use TweetDeck, but it is really just for Twitter. So if you have many other accounts, that may not be the right one for you. And I believe if you go to the next slide, Rania, I think we're at the end. I have a little bit of information afterwards once we've answered some questions here, so we can keep that final slide to the very end.
Okay, so I've stopped sharing for now.
Questions?
I wanted to go back to, there were a couple of questions here. I do have one personally about the time of the calendar booking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm trying to find a booking system that will allow for multiple bookings in the same time period. Now, here's where I'm going with this. I'm having a blood donor drive day for Canadian small businesswomen, and I'm allowed to book 10 people in each time slot.
Mm-hmm. I
am trying to find something that will allow me to do that and integrate it into the page before I launch the page, because I really need to get started. Now, I tried Calendly, and I'm not that patient.
Doesn't allow you. To be honest, I don't know. Hopefully someone on our webinar maybe knows the answer to that. You're asking exactly the right question. It is a tricky thing because by nature, a system doesn't want to allow you to book more than one person into one time slot, because normally that would be all, red flags going up saying, oh, you're trying to book more than one person into the same time slot. You can't do that, or you don't want to be doing that. So to override, but you're trying to override that limitation.
Well, maybe I can make it so that it's 10 individuals, so you can book an appointment with each individual. But I'm still searching.
I will have to give that some more thought, Rania. Honestly, I don't know, because that is exactly what the systems are trying to avoid have happen, to have double bookings, because that's, the terrible thing for everybody saying, oh my God, I booked 2 people in the same time slot. Now I have to cancel one of them. I don't see anyone coming up with a solution for that. So let me give that some more thought if I can come up with something else.
I know, I'm going to
Someone is saying you may be able to use Asana Calendar.
Asana Calendar?
Asana Calendar. Create tasks with due dates and times.
Okay. Thank you.
So thank you. This was a comment from Asma. See if that could work.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure this out. There is someone who asked, Mumtaz asked about rescue time.
Yes.
I guess they wanted your feedback on that platform.
Rescue time is one that I researched for this benefit, but I haven't used it. I've heard of it. I don't know exactly what rescue time actually does. Let's put it out there to our audience if we can perhaps get an answer there.
Okay.
Was there a specific question about rescue time that was being asked in terms of the functionality or what it actually does?
The question just said, what about rescue time? So Mumtaz, if you are still on, please do elaborate on your question. In the meantime, someone else asked, what are your thoughts on some of the paid versions of Zoho versus Insightly or HubSpot?
Okay. I don't have experience on those specifically. Some of the paid versions where I have seen some differences are in the email marketing platforms rather than those you just mentioned. The paid versions, the benefits of the paid versions, it allows you not just more users per program, but it also allows you more of the functionality. Often it will just give you sort of the key, the really basic functionality that most people will want to get out of a program. It'll allow you maybe 3 to 5 of those for a basic purpose. But if you want to dive a bit deeper, if let's say you want to have more flexibility in terms of how many people you're setting up or how many clients you're setting up in a program. Someone is just here saying, thank you, Gemma. Zoho is a complete ecosystem. That's an interesting terminology here. A complete ecosystem similar to that of Google and Microsoft. There you go. Thank you very much, Gemma. That is very useful to know. As I said, there are so many systems out there. It's not that easy to know all of them or know the intricacies of them. Typically, though, the paid versions, they just allow you those extra little things. They allow you maybe some extra reporting functions that you don't get with others, or they allow you to create scheduling and tasks and follow-ups that other lower paid plans or the free versions don't allow you to do. I hope that answers that sufficiently. I'm sorry I don't know all of them. There are so many out there. I have used a fair number of them, but just not absolutely everything.
So Helen has a question. She wants to know if there are any Canadian calendar systems.
I honestly don't know. There definitely is a large number of programs that are coming from the US or international programs that are coming from Europe and beyond, and that we're seeing here in North America, but are not specifically Canadian. That is also why I did highlight the Wave accounting software, because I do know that that is a Canadian and a local Toronto business, because unfortunately there are fewer of them coming out of Canada than there are out of the US, sadly. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe they just have more of the creative businesses over there, or just more pulling power because of the higher number of users in the US. And therefore, you automatically get more people using the products there, and therefore they show up more often when you're looking up the top 10 list of particular programs to use. It would be great to know more Canadian tools that we've just looked at, and to see more of them coming out of Canada. That would be a really great thing. So to all the developers out there, please go develop some of these so we can highlight you in future programs.
Helen also has another question. Do the calendars allow for various sites? Helen, I'm not sure I understand the question, but Martina, let me know if you...
Again, for various sites?
Do the calendars allow for various sites?
I'm not sure what they mean by site. Can you please define, whoever posed the question, can you define what you mean by various sites?
Are you meaning, can you embed a calendar on different sites and have it, probably have it speak to each other? It should, because if you're signing up for one, let's say a Calendly account, and you're using your Calendly link on 10 websites, it's still linking back to one account.
It should still link back to your account, because what it's basing the availability on is your schedule. So your calendar in whatever your business or personal email platform is that you're using. Let's say you're using Outlook, or you have a Gmail account, a Gmail calendar, and you're linking those, assuming that they all link to it, okay, you're linking that back. So your home base, your home calendar is your base, and everything else is tracking the availability that you're putting in there as well. Some programs, you actually go into the program and you just can manually set them up, or you can link it to your calendar. The challenge with that is that maybe they're going to see a whole lot of unavailability on your calendar, or availability on your calendar that you don't actually want showing up. So, for example, I know, I mentioned this example earlier, that coaches use the calendar booking systems a lot. Having coaching calls or follow-up calls with prospective new clients takes a lot of energy. So typically, coaches who set up a calendar, they will not make themselves available for the entire day, every day of the week. So it won't be They're available from 9 until 5. They will offer availability in chunks of time when it's best for them in terms of their energy, or also when they know the timing works best for their clients. So for example, maybe later in the day, early evening, when people are coming back from work or they finished their business work during the day, and they want to have their coaching call after their regular business hours. So then you would offer just certain chunks of time for your coaching calls. So let's say 9 to 11 in the morning, maybe 3 to 5 in the afternoon for certain days of the week. And then other days you might just have the evenings from 6 till 9 on certain days. So you're not making yourself available for absolutely everything, which is why you want to customize those online calendars to just the times that you want someone to see for a very specific meeting or very specific phone call, not to see your entire calendar go, oh, look, she's free all day long, when in fact you're working on business development, or you're writing, or you're planning during that time, but you're just doing it, you didn't put it in your calendar. So you don't want users to assume that just because there's nothing in there, you're available for them.
Right. So just to elaborate on what Helen says, she's saying she has 3 different locations. So
physical locations, okay?
One calendar to book appointments for 3 different locations. How would she?
Right. In that case, you would have to be mindful of, firstly, of travel time. If you have 3 different physical locations where you are meeting clients, I'm going to assume, you have to set up the buffer time for each of them. It shouldn't make any difference. Let me think.
I'm thinking maybe you can have her calendar link show location, like yes, the time and then the location. So I'm available Monday, Wednesday, Friday in Vineland from this time to this time.
Yes. So you may have to build that into the way you set up your calendar, as you said, Dwayne, thank you, is to set up within the calendar and the blocks of time that you're making available. Let's say Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 to 12, you're available at this location. So anyone who wants that location gets this specific block of time. Or anyone who wants the Tuesday and Thursday afternoon or early evening for an appointment at your second location, then they can see, okay, I want that second location, so therefore I have these times available. You'll have to look to see, again, whether the program you're using allows you those different meeting types. As I mentioned earlier, some will only allow you that one meeting type if you're on a free version. So on a paid version, hopefully they will allow you a lot more flexibility where you could build that in.
Sarah just said that she was asking if Calendly would work if Helen uses each location as a meeting type.
It should, yes. Yes, I think exactly. If you set it up as a different meeting type and add in the description that is, location 1, location 2, location 3, and allowing enough time in between for travel time so that you can get from from the first one to the second one, that could work, yes.
So another suggestion just came in saying Schedulicity is a good one. Thank you.
Okay. Ashley. Wonderful. Thank you. I also see that someone mentioned that for the accounting software, that FreshBooks is also Canadian. Thank you. That's good to know.
Wow, excellent.
Yeah, excellent. So we do have more Canadian content than we thought.
All right. I had another question and now I don't remember. Does anyone else have any questions? We still do have a couple of minutes. But
I will just check through the chat box here to see as well. Calendar bookings. Yeah, and someone here was also commenting, thank you, Asma, saying that Asana is the best and you can integrate it with Toggle. So this is, again, what I mentioned at the beginning is that 2 things. Sometimes within your, let's say you have an email, you want an email marketing program, it also provides a CRM component. Or you have a project and team management software like Asana or Basecamp or Teamwork, and within it, it also contains a time tracking device or time tracking program. That is the beauty of a lot of these programs. They are a 2-in-1, sometimes a 3-in-1 for you in one program. And then if you are paying, if you have the paid plan, that means you're really getting more than just the functionality that you originally were seeking it out for.
Momtaz, you had a question about the PowerPoint. So the PowerPoint is proprietary to Martina, but you can always rewatch this presentation on our YouTube channel. So you'll still get to see the slides and be able to review the content that way. And I will send a link to all the registrants sometime tonight or tomorrow morning.
Good. I'd just like to highlight, there was one more comment here about the invoicing and bookkeeping software. The difference between QuickBooks and Wave is the inventory management. So if you have inventory, this would be of interest to you. It says QuickBooks offers inventory management, whereas Wave does not. And maybe, and there was a comment here earlier as well, I saw that pop up, that potentially I got my numbers 5 and 6 mixed up from where I have project management listed originally in my list of things and then had it on a different number. My apologies, we just switched things up apparently.
Someone has a good eye.
I must have moved a couple of slides around and not changed the tracking order at the beginning.
Yeah, so Martina, you said you had another slide here.
We do. Just a couple of quick comments.
Okay, just
some of the resources of where I found some of this information, as well as a download, a free download from my website. So here, just a quick resource list. The first one is 10 tools for working smarter and faster in your business. Some of them I mentioned in this slideshow today. This was created by the VA Classroom. They also a virtual assistant business, and they offer a lot of good reviews and a lot of training for VAs. They had a very comprehensive list where they went into a bit more detail of what particular programs do and also explained why they like them. Those are the systems that they use within their business as well. Then the other was here, the 6 best CRM softwares for small business in 2018. So I did pull some of that report as well. Now, if you're interested in a list of, this is an example of the vast number of tasks that a virtual assistant can help a business owner with. I put together a list that is compiled from a number of different sources that I've looked up, plus many of my own. I've limited it to 66 tasks a VA can do for you. There are probably far more. I've seen lists that listed 99 things a VA can do for you. But if you'd like to look this up, just go to my website at martinarowley.com. You will, once you're on the website, you'll get a pop-up. So you can just sign up for that to receive your complimentary PDF copy. It shows you a list of tasks that VAs can help business owners with. So it goes from graphic design to project management, administrative support, website updates, being your accountability partner, or researching online graphics and images for you to use in your marketing materials. It's a wide range of tasks. I'm not in any way saying that I do all 66. I'm not a graphic designer, for example, and I have limited skills in updating websites. But different areas of expertise are things that different VAs do. Some specialize in certain things. So this is just gives you an overview so that if and when you're ready to go out and find your own virtual assistant to help you, and maybe have the VA do a lot of the tracking and using these online tools that we just went through, setting up your CRM, creating your email marketing, setting up your e-newsletter, finding the content and scheduling it for you, keeping track of these many things, maybe doing some of your bookkeeping. Those are some tasks that VAs can do, which is why I know a number of the programs that I introduced to you tonight. Again, sorry if I couldn't answer in more detail some of them on specifically what their functionality might be. I don't know them all. I can't know them all. There are so many out there. Hopefully you will find the tools that work well for you. And I encourage you to take a little bit of time to learn how to use them. if you feel a bit intimidated by signing up for these programs, look up any help desk, help programs, any videos that the provider themselves offer, the frequently asked questions, and you can also find a lot of answers on YouTube. So just YouTube it, and you can find a lot of how to do such and such on this platform. So those are very helpful and show you a step-by-step process of how to do certain things. And the more you use it, the more you'll like it, and you'll see how much time, how much effort it does save you, and how useful the data that you get out of it, the reporting you can get out of the time tracking, out of seeing your statistics in your email marketing, how useful that really can be for your business.
So what I've done is I've shared the links from the last slide in the chat box so that you are able to, click on it. You can get to Martina's site and ask her any questions that you might have. And you can click on the other resources as well. I will try to put a note to remember to send this in the body of the follow-up email that I will send to all registrants. I will have some offers for you guys. The offers will be probably surrounding our upcoming small business seminar in Mississauga. So that's August 22nd. And the theme of that one is leadership. So I will offer I think a pretty decent discount for attendees for that one, and look out for it in the emails. But Martina, any closing remarks? Anything that you have coming up that you'd like to share?
I don't have anything coming up right now. Thank you for that. I'll just say, go out there, try some of these programs, find something that fits for you. Would love to hear if you want to go through Drania, or those of you who know me, let me know which programs you choose, why you like them or why you don't like them. And then down the road, I can update my slides a little bit and add more information in there as well. Also, I will add whatever I learned from everybody on the call tonight. Thank you for all the useful feedback there. This was great. It's great to share this information, and go out there and save yourself some time by automating your business.
Yes, it's the best time to save some time. Summer is here. You want to be able to find time to enjoy yourselves outside. So thank you so much, Martina, for doing this. I took quite a bit of notes. I will be trying out some things. I'm proud to say I do use Dropbox, Buffer. I don't really use Hootsuite, but I have an account. But Buffer is my favorite. Gmail, I do integrate all my emails into Gmail. And I use the Drive to save everything. But yeah, I really am looking forward to trying to learn some new tools, especially this email sequencing. I really need to try to focus on that a little bit more. So yes. Yeah, someone said they want to learn for wave accounting. They don't need to understand debits and credits to use it. That's good to know. Yeah, so if anyone has any other comments that they'd like to share to help with whomever might be rewatching this video, please do remember you can comment on the YouTube feed, so at least everyone can go back and watch and read the comments as they watch the video. So look out for the link for that. And it's about 9:07. So I thank you all for joining us tonight. We will have our next webinar in a couple of weeks. I don't remember the exact date, but it's probably already posted on our Facebook page. So if you just go to Canadian Small Business Women, you'll see probably a list of the next 6 webinars we have coming up, because we have quite a bit of content to share. And thank you, Martina, once again for all your information.
You're very welcome. Thanks everyone for tuning in this late in the evening.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.